It's not good. This is not good at all. YouTube has a big, enormous problem on its hands. Who knows if they even realize it or not, but it's going to have a negative impact on viewership and content creators alike. This is just nuts. It's crazy, but it's happening. Now, in this video, I'm going to go into depth on what this problem really is, and I'm going to give you a couple of solutions that I've learned about that will, we'll say, lessen the impact or lessen the negative effect on your channel. Now, I'm not here to sell you anything. So there's no link in the description box below. Pay for my subscription. Pay for my course on how to make a faceless YouTube channel. That's nothing like that at all, okay? This is just straight information. Hopefully you guys find it useful, and let's get into it. So I want you to remember a phrase, and that phrase is throttle back. Okay, ready? Got that? Got that plugged in? Okay, here we go. So I've been a content creator, to give you a little background on me. I've been a content creator on YouTube for 4.5 years. Okay. I started out in the RV niche, travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, still have that channel, 19,000 subscribers, a couple million views a year. It's a small little niche, right? And I've expanded into a podcast, and I've expanded into AI channels, and I've expanded into comedy skits, and I've expanded in different things. And I've got a total now of 3 monetized channels and 3 that I'm working on. So I've learned the use of diversification, okay? And I've also learned that, and thank God, thank you, God Almighty, the Lord, that I never listened to the gurus that said don't post shorts and long form on the same channel. You got to realize that this little sidebar, that was beaten into my head by every guru, from vidIQ to TubeBuddy to everybody, is saying, do not post shorts on your long form channel. Make 2 separate channels. Thank God I didn't listen to that advice, because I'd be really screwed at this point. And let me tell you why. So YouTube publicly has said that they're basically, and this is me exaggerating, okay, but they basically took a AI steroid and injected it into their algorithm. And the point of that AI steroid is to wipe out low effort channels, okay? Now, what I consider low effort is channels that have split screen shorts with a video on top and some guy doing the same facial expressions on a loop, okay? To me, that's low effort, okay? Low effort to me is an AI generated or a real life generated video where somebody's cutting a loaf of bread and all there is music in the background. To me, that's low effort slop, okay? Making comedy or Bigfoot Yeti, or I forgot the guy that makes Scratchy the Squirrel and the guy that makes the alligators dance. That's all funny stuff and fun stuff to watch, okay? Whether they do it their own way through their own animations or they use AI, I don't consider that low effort slop. Now, if you do, hey, change my mind. Let me know in the comments if I'm out of bounds thinking that, some of this AI stuff's actually funny and good. Some of it's bad, but a lot of it's good. Okay. So we've already seen a lot of channels that have been victims of this AI steroid that has pretty much wiped out good channels that are in good standing, don't have any problems with terms of service, don't have any problems with anything, and YouTube's not reinstating their channels. They're wiped away. 500, 600,000 subscriber channels that have someone talk about tech, talking about books, talking about tools. I've seen it all. Gone, wiped out because of this AI steroid. Okay. Now, how they are doing this, and I'm going to tell you why this ended up wiping people out. Okay, because I've kind of figured it out. I've got it's not the secret sauce, but it's like the magic. Okay. So what YouTube is doing initially, what this program is doing initially, is throttling back impressions to see what you do. Okay, so it's purposely cutting your channel off from mass viewership. So, like for example, I have my RV channel gets about 2 million impressions a week on shorts. Over the last 3 weeks, I've posted the same consistency, but watch this. My impressions, even though it's different content for different trailers and different fifth wheels, my impressions have been cut down to about 7,500 a week. It's called throttling back. So what YouTube's doing is they want to see how I react. That's what this AI program's doing. It's recycling old data and looking for new data. Now, what I thought would help is if they're going to do that, I'm just going to keep launching short form videos so it can recalibrate. Wrong. It actually made it worse. This week alone, I went from 7,500 impressions to 120 impressions on 10 shorts videos. So it made it worse. So the best thing, if you notice that there's a throttle back, the first step is stop posting on that particular venue. So if it's long form, stop posting long form content for like 7 days. Until you start seeing the impressions come back, because what the algorithm's doing now is the algorithm is actually sharing your content with people that are fresh and new. They're treating each video as if you're at 0 subscribers and 0 views. It's trying to recalibrate itself with your channel to try to find a new audience. So the more you push, the worse it's going to get. If it's short form content, then cut off posting shorts. So that way, what ends up happening is the old shorts get recalibrated for whatever 6, 7, 8 days, whatever that calibration day is, and then that's where step 2 comes in. Now, step 2, like I post between 6 channels, I post 30 shorts a day. Now divide that up, it's about 5 shorts per day per channel. Okay, sometimes it's a little more, sometimes a little less. And I always post at the same time every morning, all the shorts. It's usually a 3-hour window because that's what we're supposed to do, right? Wrong. That's what we're taught to do. But during the throttle back period, you are to only post 1 video per day on shorts and 1 video per week on your regular long form channel. And then let it simmer. Let the algorithm do its thing. You're starting at 0 again. It's a whole reset. If YouTube algorithm with this AI steroid has throttled you back, you no longer have 180,000 subscribers and 35 million views. You have 0 subscribers and 0 views, and it's trying to find a new audience for your stuff. What's happened and what's going on is YouTube feels that people are going to get burned out from a certain type of content, and the algorithm was originally feeding a bunch of people your stuff that's similar viewership, and it wasn't pushing it out to a new audience, right? So I'll give you an example. I'm a big fan of the NBA. Okay, so every other short is something about the NBA, and they're afraid that I'm going to get bored and stop watching and go off the platform. So I've noticed over the last little time that they start sending me gardening stuff, power tool stuff. I mean, it's like a recalibration of what's going on. Now, the problem is it's going to affect everybody's money in a major way. If you're a small content creator and you depend on that ad revenue to be $1,000, $1,500 a month, you're probably barely going to make 120, 130 bucks during this calibration. Fact of life. Okay? So the reality of the whole situation is that the YouTube algorithm, which is owned by YouTube, had to recalibrate at some point with a lot of channels. Now, Mr. Beast is a whole different animal. but he's even going to be affected, but he might not even know it or realize it, okay, because he's too big to really realize it has happened. And that brings me to the third thing. So the third thing is you have to change up what you're doing a little bit. Don't change your niche, but change and alternate the way you edit your videos. So I'll give you an example. I just created 10 new AI Bigfoot and Yeti videos that I included a third character in. And then I've changed the way that I'm editing the video, and I've changed the hook, and I've changed the way they tell the joke. Okay. With the AI baby videos, I now am changing the format. It's still going to have the same jokes and the same humor, but I changed the format. You have to give the algorithm something new to look at so they know it's like changing. It's not the same repetitive thing. Like I was doing for a long time, I was doing the same thing. I saw one AI baby video on TikTok where it ran up to a microphone and it talked to an interviewer. So I'm like, let me go find that prompt. And I would tweak the prompt and tweak the prompt and tweak it and tweak the editing and tweak the joke and I went from being hardcore in the joke department to softening it up. And now it's more about let's be cute. And then I changed up the whole pet routine, and I changed up how the baby talks, and I changed up the way the adults move, and I changed different things. I already made those changes, but those videos that I posted that changed, I don't want to repost them. I now have to rechange them and recalibrate. So that's basically where we are at and what I've discovered, because I've been pissed off and frustrated. I was on my way to the 3 channels, each making $1,000 a month each. And now I'm barely going to make like 1,600. So I'm basically back to where I was a month and a half ago, and all my momentum's gone. But we have to realize YouTube owns the IP of the platform that we post on. If they decide they don't want to pay ad revenue for a month, or they decide to cut your channel off because you're making too much money or not enough money, or you're doing something wrong in their eyes, or their AI steroid thinks that you're low effort content, you're in deep shit. So I'm going to get more into YouTube shorts and YouTube long form in another video on this channel, because I think it's something that especially content creators should realize that is happening. So have a good one.